I don't want to shoot you this close. Yeah, I don't want to shoot you that close. You got me by the way the other side.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Airsoft video. Now this video is going to be a little bit different because you guys have been asking for this for quite a while now. So this video is going to be the long awaited loadout video. But before I do start the video, I do want to say something which is quite important for the future of this channel. I'm not going to be able to keep up with the weekly uploads because I haven't got a lot of money at the moment. So that means I'm not going to be able to go Airsoft every week. In a way it is better for me as well because I can start focusing on other stuff. For example, my college work. Now just because I can't keep on top of this doesn't mean I'm going to disappear for 10 plus months like I did before. But anyway, that's me done with that. Let's get on with the video. For my suit base, I use the Norwich Ghillie in amber, as in my opinion it is the best for the UK environment. Now everything I have on my Ghillie is all from Norwich as well, like the 3D leaves, burlap and halo screen. The reason I chose Norwich is because of ease of access. You can get his stuff absolutely anywhere, and the stuff he sells is actually really good for ghillie crafting. Take his leaves for example. Not only are they durable, yeah they do fall off sometimes, but that's gonna happen, it's glue holding them together like every other leaves you buy. But they are the only leaves what I found that attached to your suit by plastic pins, which was a very good idea. They do break sometimes, but not very often. And even if they do break, there are extras in the packet, so you could just replace them whenever you need to. Now the burlap, if I was you can put it on, but it's not necessary. It's the same with burlap really. They both have major flaws of using them, and I've had to deal with both of them. The burlap won't break, but it will change. Like if you're going to be diving into bushes, it's going to get deformed very quickly and it's not going to look like stringy at all. It's just going to look like a complete mess. In my opinion, I don't think it looks that bad, but I know that is the reason why people don't like to run it on their ghillies, because it gets very deformed very quickly. The raffia also, I know a lot of people don't use this, including me, for the main reason, if it gets wet, it's just fucked. It will just fall apart, it will lose its colour, and it's just not worth the hassle of putting it on. If you did want to put it on though, it costs pennies to buy. It's cheap as chips. To be honest, I'd say it's cheaper than chips. The halo screen though is something of miracles. It works so well, and you've probably seen ghillies just completely made out of this stuff. So basically what it is, it's like this sort of mesh, like you buy it and it comes in this massive square. You just cut out bits and you could like change it and it kind of looks like leaves. It represents leaves. You can make loads of little shapes with this and it could completely change your ghillie. So you could get the cheapest one on the market and put this stuff on it and it looks like you could probably sell it for 100 quid. The sunlight as well, it changes colour when sunlight hits it, which can be really good for camouflage. It can make you blend in even more than it already does. It already does an amazing job by itself, but it just makes it that much better. I've heard people saying that it's quite cheap, but to be honest I haven't seen any places that would do it cheap. Norwich does it for 30 quid for 5 massive sheets. I do think that is good. The Kicking Mustang does it for what, 60 quid, which is very excessive. That is extremely expensive, and that is the main reason I have never bought his stuff. I will do, but I probably will only buy it once because it's so expensive. The next ghillie suit I will have will probably primarily be made out of halo screen, just because of how good it is, how lightweight it is, and I just think it looks amazing and it blends in so well. That is all the stuff I do have on my ghillie, so that's the ghillie section over. Well, sort of. So let's talk about my equipment now. My chest rig again is from Norwich. I do tend to like to get stuff from him. More specifically, I've got the minimal chest rig in amber to match my ghillie base. I've done minimal crafting to it only put in little bits of leaves on and some halo screen. Now I'm not going to talk that much about my pouches because it's not really that important, but the only thing I'm going to say is this: some of my pouches are made out of plastic and are black, so they're not very camo. So what I did is I bought some camo tape. So if you don't know, Jack Pike camo tape, it's very good, but it can give you away in the summer sometimes because it is very brown. But yeah, I just stuck some of that camo tape on and it fixed it, and you wouldn't notice that it's got tape on it, to be honest. It works very well. I only use my chest rig when I'm using my sniper rifle, and I use my battle belt when I use my M4. I couldn't tell you what battle belt I use because it was gifted to me, but it's a very classic one. It's literally just clip in. All I've got in that is some pouches where I can put my batteries. It's the same with my chest rig. But yeah, I also have some M4 pouches, some pistol pouches. Literally everything I have on my chest rig is also on my battle belt. Now let's move on to my face protection. This is definitely the most interesting part of my ghillie suit. It would be a surprise to some, but my face protection, my face mask is it's cheap. It cost me like £2. I mean, it doesn't anymore with all the crafting on it, but the base cost me. It cost me nothing. So what I've done is I've super glued some mesh goggles into where the eyes are supposed to be. That's where I've super glued it into, and I've sewed a mouth guard, a mesh mouth guard into the goggles. It's just in case if I do get shot in the mouth area, my teeth won't come flying out. Because if you remember from one of my old videos before I had a ghillie, I just wear a balaclava and I got shot in the tooth, and it chipped my tooth, and it was bleeding quite bad. So after that, I've been wearing a mesh mouth guard. Now I crafted my face mask quite heavily because it was extremely basic when I bought it. I mean, you would expect it for £2. Again, with my old videos when I had my first ever ghillie suit, like a £50 ghillie suit, which I didn't even craft, you could see how bad it was. Again, I crafted it with the same 3 materials I mentioned before. Now I'm going to talk about my hat. I think this is how people notice me at my own site. Again, I've crafted it with the same 3 materials what I used before, and it is from Norwich, because why wouldn't it be? I'm not going to talk that much about the section anymore, but the last thing I am going to talk about is going to be my gloves. They are just mechanics gloves, and they're the same ones what Camman uses, but I've got mine in a different colour. For the main reason being, the ones what I wanted wasn't in stock. I haven't done anything to it. I've just left them uncrafted, just because you don't really have to, because the sleeves on the ghillie suit, or the Norwich ghillie suit, they cover the majority of your hands anyway, so there's not really any point of doing it. Now we're going to be moving on to my weapons. I shouldn't really need to say what weapons I have because I say it at the start of every single video, but people still ask me, what gun do you use? I'm only joking, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, the sniper rifle I use is the MLC 338 from Maple Leaf. If I was you guys, I would not get this sniper rifle just because it's not as good as I say it is. You need to upgrade it quite a bit, and for the price tag, it is definitely not worth it. I would get something like the Norwich SSG 10. It is a lot more reliable, and if you want to spend the money, get an SRS. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to get used to, but it is so good, you don't need to upgrade it that much. I am looking at getting a new sniper rifle soon, but it's not my main priority. My main priority is getting a new ghillie suit for the winter season. My rifle is my HPA Double Eagle Honey Badger. The base is relatively cheap, the more expensive bit is when it comes to HPAing it. I forgot how much the HPA engine is, but I think it's upwards of 400 quid, which is like 2 times the actual price of the gun itself, but it is worth it. Don't get me wrong. That is all I really have to say about my weapons, so let's just quickly move on to the next bit. Now for the final section, we are going to talk about how I record airsoft. I could make this into a completely different video, so because I can make it into a new video and talk more over it, I am just going to run over what I do have. If you do want to start doing airsoft recording, I would highly recommend Camman's video. He mentions everything you need to start doing recording, so if I remember, because you guys know that my memory is absolutely awful, I will put a link to his video in the description. But anyway, my main camera is a GoPro Hero 11. I would say if you do want to go into recording at full force, I would go ahead and buy a Hero 11. You could go higher, but I definitely would not go lower than an 11 because the 10 has some overheating issues and I'm pretty sure the 9 does as well. And the 8, well, my experience is it is good, but it kind of like just die randomly. And I don't mean like battery dying, I mean the camera just stops working. My other camera, my selfie cam as I like to call it, is a GoPro Hero 3. It is very old, it's almost 12 years old. So it's very old. And my scope cam, so what you see when I get a kill, is a Run Cam 2. Now I am looking to get 2 new cameras, one for my selfie cam and one of the newer versions of the scope cameras. I do know that GoPro did just recently release the GoPro Hero, so I might see how that performs first and then buy it once there's more reviews on it. Now to keep some of my cameras charged, for example my scope cam, and I will be charging my selfie cam as well when I get a new one, I've stuck some Velcro on the gun and on some power banks what I do use. So I use this one power bank, I don't know what it is, what it's called or something. My dad got it for a present for me from Thailand when he went there, and honestly it's the most powerful power bank I've ever used. So it's probably because they have some ancient artifacts in that thing, because it does not die and it takes an entire day to charge and it does not die for like a month. But anyway, that is all of it. That's all of my equipment so far. If you preferably want someone like me to make a camera video of like how to record airsoft, I will do it if you want me to. I do not mind, but you might need to wait a while for that to come out. So yeah, I am recommending you to just go and watch Camman's video because it is very, very good. But anyway, thank you for watching and I will see you next week for another banger airsoft video. Bye bye. Remember to like and subscribe.